A very good afternoon to you and welcome to today's edition of Joy Business Masterclass. Masterclass is powered by Joy Business and is brought to us by Goyle. Goyle Good Energy, Goyle Yenara Yedia. Masterclass comes your way every Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. and runs all through to 2:15 p.m. here on your superstation Joy 99.7. My name, as always, is Yaw Anim Barnafo, and I'm glad to be your host for today's edition of Masterclass. In the last couple of weeks, we've been here on the show with Oscar Bimpong, and we've been talking about mindset and skill set, and I hope that you are beginning to change your mindset about the way you work. You're beginning to teach your staff how to change their mindsets about the way they work. You're beginning to look at your skill set and whatever you're good at doing, or upping that skill so that you can be better at what you do. Today, we sort of bring that conversation to a close in this series, and today we're talking about the impact of skill set and mindset imbalance. Remember, in the first week, we talked about introducing the conversation on mindset, and then we talked about skill set and what they were and why they were important, and then we talked about skill set, and then we talked about mindset. Today, we're talking about the fact that in an organization, if you're there, you're running a business, whatever it is you're doing, if there is an imbalance of skill set and mindset, knowing what the both of them are, which is, how do I think about what I'm going to do? What's the mindset I have about it? Am I thinking positive? Am I thinking it can be done? Or do I have limitations within my mind that I bring to my work? And have I applied myself to any skill? If there's an imbalance of those, what is the impact on your business? Sometimes you look at the fact that your numbers are not doing too well and you wonder why that is. And then sometimes we blame our staff and we say, you're not working hard, you don't understand it. But it could be a million things, including an imbalance between skill set and mindset. Oscar is back here in the studio to help us conclude that conversation. Just to also remind our listeners that we're streaming live on Facebook, on YouTube, and also on X. And Oscar has obliged us a couple of slides. So for those who are able to, who want to make some notes, by all means do watch us live or follow those slides and make some notes for yourself. At some point in the show, we will get interactive, and when we do, you can also be a part of the conversation. Otherwise, Oscar is back here in the studio with us, and since this is our last conversation on mindset and skill set, I'll try to speak very little today, and I'll let Oscar do all the talking. Oscar, you're welcome back to the conversation.
Thank you.
I've made a promise I hope I can keep.
No, you can't, because you are always part of the conversation.
I'm always part of the conversation.
You are not that host that is a quiet one.
I can't. I try to.
Yeah, no.
But talk to us. I mean, we've been listening to you. Skill set, mindset. The mindset thing is a big conversation.
Yeah.
It's a big conversation. I think we can talk about it the whole year.
I'm telling you.
The whole year.
I'm telling you.
But otherwise, in this next 45 minutes,
yes,
talk to us. Let's take as much from you as we can. Just also before you continue, Oscar has obliged us today, his last appearance on the show, another one of his books. Last week, I didn't give that book out because no one called.
No one called.
We got all the messages. But this week, he's given us another beautiful book. I'm holding it in my hand. If you're watching us live, you will be able to see me show it to the camera. This is The Purposeful Mindset, and it says Decoding a Coded Life Beyond the Mindset Revolution. Decoding a Coded Life Beyond the Mindset Revolution by Oscar Bimpong. That's Purposeful Mindset. So please, first caller again today.
Yes,
first caller again.
Yeah.
If I ask a question and get it right, fine, but otherwise, first caller, you get to pick this up from Oscar. Oscar, please go ahead.
Wow. So I think it's been an interesting past 3 weeks, and I think some of the feedbacks I've had is really amazing. Yeah. I met a lady and she was like, I've got a very good friend who's very positive, but I'm the opposite side of being very negative. But after listening to you on Joy, I've now come to the conclusion that my friend is always right. So I have now skewed my part on positivity and not negativity. At least we are changing lives one at a time.
Let's give a shout out together. You and I giving a shout out to all our silent listeners.
Silent listeners.
Who reached out to us after the show. Shout out to you from Masterclass.
That is free consultancy, right? Yeah. On the side, yeah. But we need consultancy that brings money as well, isn't it? Indeed. For the organization to run as well. Indeed. All right. So as you said, we are going to talk about the impact of the imbalance of skill set and mindset in an organization. Now, my first slide is when an organization employs someone, what the organization does is the organization gives that person orientation and training. But do the organization intentionally align their mindset with the vision, mission, and core values of the organization. That is the first call of imbalance of skill set and mindset development in an organization. They buddy somebody to learn the skill trade. They give them orientation, induction, training. But do they actually say, let us try and really align the mindset of this person we've employed to the vision, mission, and core values? Yeah, so many years I've done this. Almost every organization trained to inspire consultancy we do training for, 99% of the people sitting in the training cannot say the vision of the company verbatim. That is the first red flag, that organizations do not intentionally align the mindset to the vision, core values, and mission of the organization. Now the question is, what is vision? Vision is, I'm here and this is where I want to be. That is, I'm in A, I want to get to B. Right?
Yeah.
Now, if the person doesn't know where he is, not to talk about where he's going with the organization, then, yeah, it becomes even complex. The person who've employed don't know where the organization is going. Because the fact that that person cannot recite the vision verbatim, that is one. Two, understanding the vision. And three, where is the vision going? If they cannot even recite it, then it means that all the people in the room that are employed, they don't know where you are going as an organization.
Or understand it, and even say it in their own words. You're right.
Yes.
You're right about it.
But yeah, I don't even want any summary when it comes to vision. It has to be stated as it is.
As it is. Well, then yes, because its capture has been well thought through.
Yes.
And so you must understand it for what it is.
What it is.
I get what you're saying.
The moment you summarize it, it can be something else.
You can introduce your own.
Your own.
Subject to interpretation.
Yes, but I'm telling you, 99% of the organizations we've done training for, the staff in the room for that training, they cannot see the vision. Not to talk about.
Also, even because sometimes it's a mouthful. Apart from the fact that we are not teaching them properly, I'm just poking you here. But sometimes it's a mouthful.
Of course. For example, I have helped a lot of organizations to refine their vision, because it has to be very simple, straightforward, and clearly. Some are very cumbersome.
Because people come with different strengths. You see, there are those in the finance section cracking it, there are those in treasury cracking it, but there's those in the front line, and we must all understand it. And if it's something like what our mission is to be able to provide tailor-made, swift services, client-facing, maximizing satisfaction for the doors.
You know, I beg to differ a little bit. When it comes to vision, it must be stated as it is. Okay. I don't think it's so difficult for anybody in the room to learn.
Right.
And I think it's the work of HR as part of their meetings, like the way we say national anthem. The vision, mission, and core values of the organization should be said at every meeting as a national anthem.
And they should learn it as it is.
Learn it as it is. Right. Understand it, and for you to also know where we are and where we are going. It must always be repetitive so that it gets into the subconscious of the staff, right? So it's very critical. It's very critical, and what makes it very critical is that if they cannot say it, where is the organization going? It's as simple as that, right? Now, the second call of imbalance between skill set and mindset development in an organization is that the budget of most organizations is almost 100% on skill set training and not mindset transformation.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
We can even do a short survey. Let's take only 5 organizations in Ghana here, in Accra, and let's go and ask them their budget for training. Almost 100% skill set. That is where the imbalance starts. You are investing in a skill set, but not a mindset. Yeah. And once there is that imbalance, you will never be able to increase productivity and growth in the organization because of that balance. But you see, because we cannot measure mindset in a way, organizations don't see the impact it has on the organization, though they can easily measure the skill set of the person, of the employee, but with the mindset. So because that one is very sublime, they don't see the impact it brings in the organization, and because of that, they feel like, oh, we cannot. They don't even have, like, they don't pay attention to it, and that is where the problem starts. The imbalance starts. So I'm going to talk about 4 different scenarios of the impact of skill set and mindset in an organization. Now, the first scenario is, employing staff with a low level of skill set coupled with a weak mindset means performance and growth will be impacted negatively. So 1, low level of skill set, and 2, a weak mindset. When you combine these two, the organization will be impacted negatively. Why? Because target will not be able to achieve. The organization will not be able to exceed expectation. The organization is not able to compete in the marketplace. The organization is not able to maximize its potential. So that is the first scenario. So some organization, they employ people with what? Low level of skill set coupled with a weak mindset. Interesting, eh? Then what that one means is that employing staff with good, so the second scenario is employing staff with good skill set but with a weak mindset means productivity and growth will potentially be low. So this one, the second scenario is good skill set but with a weak mindset. So the people you employed, they have got all the skills, the experiences, their CV looks good, but they've got a weak mindset. The organization will not be able to do what? To have a higher productivity, and potentially growth is going to be what? Stunted, right? Number 3, that is the third scenario. Okay, so based on the second one, a weak mindset doesn't maximize the potential of a staff with a very good skill set. I think you should sink in, eh? A weak mindset doesn't maximize the potential of a staff with a very good skill set.
Over time, it will be affected.
It's going to be
adversely.
Affected.
Yeah.
Adversely.
Right.
Adversely. And these are some of the little things organizations might take notice of. If they are not able to take notice of these little things, sometimes they will think they are doing well, but in the nutshell, they are not doing well. Why? Because there is a gap in growth and a gap in productivity that if they can really maximize mindset and skill set, then they will be in a better place to be very competitive in the marketplace. So the third one is, however, employing staff with bad skill set but with a strong mindset means productivity and growth will potentially be high. The simple reason is you can easily teach skill set compared to attitude.
That's true.
It's so easy to teach skill set.
It's functional.
It's functional.
You can learn it.
Yes. Akofa can just teach me how to use the console and play some little good music in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I will just be doing the basics. But I cannot change somebody that has harnessed a particular kind of attitude the last 40 years that you are working with.
I was going to use Akofa example. But
oh, so that it means I'm in the spirit, right? I'm ahead of time.
No, but I think the second part of what she said was she can teach you to work the console.
Yeah.
But she can't teach you to love music the way she loves the music.
That is the difference. That is the difference.
It comes from within.
Yes.
And she's put her mind to it.
To put her mind to it. So you see that. So you see, everywhere we go, it's like the mindset is the master of skill set.
Yeah. In fact, there's something that someone said today that I was looking at my phone when you started. It says, this one isn't skill set and mindset, but we can relate. It says, when a manager, and the source is Alexis, you know yourself. He says that when a manager with a great reputation, we can replace reputation with mindset, joins an organization with a lousy reputation, again, we can replace reputation with mindset. It is normally the reputation of the organization that remains intact. Which means that the reputation of the individual will suffer. So if you put mindset there, if you join an institution with the wrong mindset, It's just a matter of time.
Yes. And if the organization has got everything right in terms of mindset and skill set,
it will also...
You will suffer.
Yeah. Of course. There'll be conflict.
Yes.
Unless you align.
Yeah, unless you align.
Yeah.
You know? So it is kind of, we've had this conversation for the last 3 weeks. Yeah. And this imbalance, which is the last week, is very critical for organizations to start having a very good balance. If not even more investment in mindset. So John Cobb says that I will hire someone with the right mindset over someone with the right resume any day. Skills are easier to teach than attitude.
True.
And I think it's a very powerful statement.
Yeah. It's very true.
It's very true.
Attitudes are formed over time.
Yes.
A set of experiences, reactions, beliefs, fears, aspirations. Some are so deep that they go back to your childhood. It will take time.
Yes.
But skills can be taught.
Yeah, that's mindset. Yeah. And you see, attitudes over time becomes programmed, right?
Yeah.
And once you become programmed, and there is one thing I always do on my second day of my trainings, right? When I talk about the programming of the mind, right? It will amaze you that where everybody sits the first day, they sit at the same place the second day. That is how easy you can be programmed. You can easily be programmed in 24 hours. Now, my last training I did, I just changed the seats of 5 people. I saw the men, too many men here, few ladies here, so let some of the men go here. And the next day, the men I moved came back to the seat they were sitting on before.
In fact, you have no idea how programmed we are when it comes to certain things. I'll just give it a simple example. And if you're listening, just think about it and see whether it's true of you. In the last 4 months, the route that you use from your house to drop your children and go to work and go back home, have you changed it?
No, you don't. And we don't even explore.
We don't even realize.
We don't really explore. We sit in that traffic. But sometimes there's a route that is so easy that you haven't explored. And you think this is the best route. No, you have been programmed to use that route.
And our programming becomes habit.
Yes. So, let me tell you something here. UK drives on the right, Ghana drives on the left, right? When I come to Ghana, right? Even when I'm going to sit in my car, before I realize, I open the passenger door, not even realizing I say I'm not going to sit down. I sit down before I get up again and go back to the driver's seat.
Force of habit.
Yes, because I've driven in the UK for so many years. So I've been programmed so many years to go on the right.
Yeah.
A friend of mine was telling me he doesn't think this is, I'm just exaggerating it. So I think my friend went to Sierra Leone. They drive on the right.
Yes.
I was there. He called me. He said, "That thing you've always been saying is true. Bro.
It happened to me.
It just happened to me."
It happened to me.
So we've been shaped to think in a certain way for so many years. That person we've employed has been shaped to think in a particular way, programmed in a particular way. So if you don't intentionally align the mindset of that person to the organization's vision, mission, and core values, I can bet you
they'll keep going in the wrong direction.
They'll keep going in the wrong direction. And I can bet you most organizations are having these challenges, but they don't know where to start from. That is why Train to Inspire Consultancy, we have got a fully fledged 2 days training program on mindset transformation. It's difficult to have somebody that would do 2 days mindset transformation training program, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. for 2 days. Some organizations, they do it, but they do it a bit in productivity, a bit in strategy, but not a fully fledged mindset transformation. So John Cobb's quote is very powerful. I will hire someone with the right mindset over someone with the right resume any day. Skills are easier to teach than attitude. Hence, the best scenario is employing staff with high level of skill set, with a strong mental fortitude, will impact performance and growth positively such that they can even exceed expectation. So once you employ staff with a high level of skill set and with a strong mental fortitude, what happens is the organization is going to be impacted positively when it comes to performance and growth, to the extent that they can even exceed expectation.
Yes, indeed.
There are people, right? First quarter target that is given to them, they finish it maybe in 6 weeks. I know a very good friend who works in one of these banks, and the first quarter target that was given to him, he finished it by the end of February. So they needed to add more target.
He was done for the whole year.
He was done for the whole year.
I know a few people like that.
Yes.
You know yourselves. Good afternoon. Shout out to you.
They know themselves. They know themselves. We are not here to advertise you. Yeah. So if you've got such people as part of your team, such people as part of the organization, that is where you win. That is why you become an industry leader. That is where you dominate the industry that you are in. I always tell people, if the industry that you are in, if they mention 5 people in that industry and your name doesn't come up, then there is a problem with the organization. Even 5 is too high. The first 3, you should be there. Mm-hmm. Your name should be mentioned in every boardroom when they are discussing your organization or they are discussing you as an individual. This means that the skill set and mindset of your employees must operate at a certain optimal level for organizational success. There have to be a level where your organization operates. You know, people think all this Amazon and all this, look, they have put in systems that works.
Tried and tested over years.
Yes. And once an organization gets to that stage, that is where you win.
Yeah.
The mindset of your staff is very critical. Very, very critical. Sometimes I go to some organizations and I look at the way they do things and I'm like, is there any leadership here?
Yeah, you can tell.
You can tell that there's no leadership because it seems like they've lost the plot. And you cannot succeed in a marketplace with certain attitudes.
Let me ask you this then. I was going to wait till the question time to ask you. Okay, I might as well wait. I'll write the question down. But think about it. I was going to ask that when people are on their best behavior, when there's monitoring, as compared to when they're on their best behavior because they understand why they should do it.
Yeah.
Which of the 2 scenarios is the best?
I think the second one.
I agree too.
Yeah.
Because I have a few examples of people on their best behavior when someone is watching. And when you walk into the place and the monitor is not there, you can tell that today the person didn't come.
So let me tell you, I work with some organization, right? And one day I sat with the managing director down and I told him that, do you know the moment you enter the door, everybody starts panicking? He said, is that so? I said, yes, everybody starts panicking. But I said, you don't realize it. But I'm sitting behind and I've seen whatever.
Even the air changes. On the 5th floor, you can tell that from another.
But do you know the moment this person travels, and this person travels a lot, the moment he travels, you could see that there is an ease. Everybody's smiling. You said? No, but I think it's a bad thing. You see,
people should do it because they understand it.
Yes.
Not because they're compelled to.
Yes.
Yeah, I get what
you see, and when you do that, there is a lot of things your staff will know that they will never tell you because they are afraid to come to you. There can be so many things that are going wrong in the business, and they're going to keep quiet because they don't even know when you are going to flip. You know?
So you bite your head off.
You know? But in some quarters, some people also say that is what the Ghanaian employee understands, which is if you don't rule them with iron hands, they tend to be relaxed and all that. But I think on the other side, you should manage the other side well, where they are comfortable with you or without you.
I think I agree with you, Oscar. But I think that this particular point you're making, and when we get interactive, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. Do send us your comments. But I think it's one that divides opinion. I mean, as a professional and as an academic, I agree with you. But as a human being and as a customer, sometimes I'm tempted to think that. And I liken it to the approach to trade and to rulership by America, laissez-faire, and China, which is communist. If you like, do it.
Yes.
China, they don't talk plenty.
Yes.
The whole country has 20 ministers, 1.5 million people.
Yes.
If you like, they say don't cross this line, just cross it.
Yes. Yeah.
And sometimes the stick gets a bit more result than the carrot. But others will say the carrot and the stick. I'd like to hear your thoughts when we get into it. But give us your final comments.
You see, they have to be a bit of balance.
Yeah.
Right? But I think if you are not careful,
if you don't balance it well,
yes,
the stick and the carrot. I get it.
If you don't balance it well, if one outweighs the other, there are always consequences.
Equilibrium.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then, one day I was in an organization and I was interviewing the staff for a training program. So what we do at Train to Inspire Consultancy is that we come in and interview staff about some of the attitudes they think it must be changed, so that we tailor it to the training. And one of the guys I was interviewing, one person came and said, managing director wants to see you. The guy was like, oh no, what have I done again? That one only says a lot. I can tell you that it means that if this guy gets another opportunity, he's going to leave. Because he's not in the right frame of mind when it comes to even being called for a meeting or whatever. So I think it must be balanced. Let's move on though. People can comment about it.
Share one more point with me, and then we'll take a quick break and then we'll continue. Yeah.
So what's the essence of having a good skill set, but the mindset and attitude that backs the skill set is bad? Now I'm going to give this scenario. Probably we'll go for a break. I'm going to give a scenario of Balotelli, Ronaldo, and Messi. Right? I believe that Balotelli has got the potential to be at the level of Messi and Ronaldo.
Okay.
Right? But what separates the two, that is, what separates Ronaldo and Messi from Balotelli is the attitude. Right? The attitude towards their craft separates Balotelli. Why? Because Balotelli, though he's got a very good skill set, the attitude that backs it is bad. So what does that tell organizations? You can have somebody that has got a very good skill set, but if the attitude is bad, you might not be able to maximize your potential.
Right.
So, this is by Jose Mourinho complaining about Balotelli's attitude. And he made this statement, and I quote. He said, "We went to Kazan in the Champions League when I was at Inter. In the match, all my strikers were injured. No Milito, no Eto'o. I was really in trouble, and Mario Balotelli was the only striker I had. Mario gets a yellow card in the 42nd minute. So when I went to the dressing room at halftime, I spent 14 of the 15 minutes speaking to only Mario. However, Balotelli received a red card just 1 minute into the second half. I mean, the 46th minute." Look, somebody with a bad character or bad attitude, even trying to even convince them to do the right thing doesn't even work.
A leopard cannot change the sports. If you've just tuned in, this is Masterclass right here on the Superstation Joy 99.7. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we get interactive.
Your favorite on-air business development program, Joy Business Masterclass, is in session, and you can interact with us on Facebook via the Joy 99.7 FM or Joy Business pages. If you tweet, the handle is at Joy 997 FM or at Joy Business GH. Don't forget to hashtag JB Masterclass. You can also call us on 0302 216541 or send your questions and contributions through to the WhatsApp number 0551 111997 and our facilitators will address your concerns. Attention everyone, class is in progress.
Welcome back. If you've just tuned in, this is Masterclass. We're interactive right now. Numbers to call 0302-216-541. That's 0302-216-541. You can also send us your comments on 055-1111-997. That's 055-1111-997. I have a book that we're giving away today. Oscar's giving away a book, Purposeful Mindset. And it goes on to say, Decoding a Coded Life Beyond the Mindset Revolution. He's giving it out to the first caller today. No questions to answer, so just pick up that phone, give us a call, 0302-216-541. Let's hear your thoughts on what you think about the imbalance between skill set and mindset in an organization. Just to also remind you that today's edition of Masterclass is brought to us by Goyle. Goyle, good energy, Goyle. Yenara, Yedia. Do you have any motor vehicle of any kind? Because if you do, Goyle has some great news for you. Good energy brings you Goyle Super XP, the ideal choice for most vehicles. It is flowing wah-wah at many Goyle stations in the country. Just go fuel up your vehicle and enjoy the smooth ride with all the benefits. Goyle Super XP is quality and gives you the correct choice when buying regular fuel. Goyle Super XP is fortified with a special additive that gives longevity to your engine and makes your engine perform to the max using minimal fuel, and it is also suitable for most vehicles. Goyle, they say good energy, Goyle. Yanara, yeah, their phone lines are open. Numbers to call 0302-216-541. You can send us your comments on 055-1111-997. If you're driving, please do not text while you drive. We definitely want you to arrive alive. But otherwise, pick up that phone, give us a call, 0302-216-541. Or send us your comments on 055-1111-997. I have a comment, okay. Your comment is not too clear. If you could just come back again. But otherwise, you can also give us a call and then we can read your comments here. Okay, this one is from Nico Joseph. Nico, you don't tell me where you're reaching out from, but it says, I've enjoyed the topic today so much and I wish I could have more. Nico, thank you so much. My producer is listening, so maybe they'll bring Oscar back, hopefully before the end of the year. But otherwise, Oscar, let's keep sharing until we get a few more messages or the phone lines ring. And then, we can share some more thoughts.
All right.
Go ahead. Oscar.
Yeah, so Balotelli's case study is a typical example of employing somebody with very good skill set but a bad attitude. Now, Brian Tracy says that you cannot control what happens to you, but you can control your attitude towards what happens to you. And in that, you will be mastering change rather than allowing it to master you. What is he trying to say? What he's trying to say is that Balotelli had an opportunity to control how he responds to any kind of winding up on the field, but he couldn't. Why? Because of the attitude that he has.
Right. And of course, Balotelli is temperamental, but he's also got great skill.
Yes.
Yeah, and I see the difference that you talk about when you talk about Messi. Because Messi is also not a pushover, but obviously if you're comparing the two, then clearly he's a bit more laid back.
Yes,
you see. But the example I was making of America and China, some people will say if you get people to understand it and do it, you get more productivity. But I always use the argument and I say this is one that divides opinion. Because when we talk about world trade today, regardless of what the nuances are, China is also doing quite well on the world stage, isn't it?
Exactly.
I've got a caller on the line. Good afternoon. You're welcome to Masterclass. Your name and where you're calling from.
Good afternoon. I'm Noah.
Right, Noah. Noah, please, where are you reaching us from this afternoon?
I'm reaching you from La Paz.
From Labadi or La Paz?
La Paz.
Oh, right, La Paz. Noah, you've won for yourself a brand new book by Oscar Bimpong.
Thank you.
If you're watching us on YouTube, you'll see that I'm pointing to the camera now. And the title is The Purposeful Mindset, Decoding a Coded Life Beyond the Mindset Revolution. Oscar will sign it for you, and we will have it ready at the front desk. So please stay on the line when you're done talking to us so that the production crew can take your details as well.
Okay.
But otherwise, you want to tell us something on the conversation today?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I agree with him because attitudes, they are very important, and that's where, especially Ghanaians, a lot of us fall short, and it makes us unproductive.
Right.
We are in the institutions because we have to be there for the money. We don't have the business at heart. So when the boss is around, everybody is moving. The moment he is off, you see everybody on the mobile phone and all attitude. Treating customers anyhow. They don't care. So your program has been educative. I wish a lot of us will be listening and work on our attitude.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ajiman Joseph.
That's really good contribution.
Oh, that was Noah, right? Yeah. Okay, I've got Ajiman Joseph on the line. Noah, thank you so much for reaching out. Please keep listening. Ajiman Joseph is also on the line. Good afternoon, Ajiman. My brother, how are you?
I'm very well. I hope you're also doing well.
I'm brilliant. Talk to me.
But you said this man's session is ending today.
It is. You want him to come back?
Oh, sure, because I'm enjoying listening to him every day.
My producer is listening, so hopefully we make a decision to bring him back.
Now I have some few questions to ask.
Go ahead.
In this case, do we say that a very good player with bad attitude cannot make it to the Ballon d'Or or to change situations in the team?
Ajima, let me ask you that question. I want to know what you think first, then we will answer it. What do you think is the answer?
I think indiscipline can destroy the team.
Okay.
So once you are good with a good character, it carries the team along.
Okay.
But if others are looking at you per your character, it shoots them away and success might not be there.
So do you think that indiscipline can destroy a player's career?
Yes, of course.
So you have answered the question first.
Thank you.
Also, the boss who's because of what is around him, sweeps all the workers away. When they see him, they are panicking. I think it's very bad because assuming you are an apprentice and you are working with your boss and hardly to get closer. If you have a slight knowledge about whatever you are doing and instead of you telling him, it might put you off. So it should be balanced for others to say that, oh, boss is okay, he's friendly. I mean, when you get closer to him, he will answer you, he will talk to you fairly. Unless maybe you go wrong, then he'll give it to you. So I think that it should be balanced.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much, my brother. We should bring you on the show one of these days so that you can come and educate us. Thank you. That was Ajiman Joseph, an ardent listener. He's always sharing brilliant thoughts with us. But you wanted to react to that?
I think what he said, I think we've already talked about it.
So we've got a few more minutes. Maybe you could throw in a few more points.
Yeah. So I think let me go. So I really want to talk about organizations dwelling on CVs, right? These days, some organizations even go to your social media handles before they even call you for an interview. So CV nowadays, I believe, is going to be outdated over time because what you write on social media defines your character.
Please say it again and say it slowly for me, for my Gen Z and my Gen Alpha. Say it again for me. I'll add my own.
I can bet you that some people are not getting called for interviews because of what they write on social media.
Are not getting visa.
Yes. No, but that one is a done deal. It's a done deal now.
You are writing a CV with your life.
Of course.
The internet doesn't forget.
Oh, yes. The
internet doesn't forget.
So, organizations now go and look out for you on social media. Some people also say that I don't want to be on social media. Do you know what that one means? It also says a lot about you. He's not sociable. He's not abreast with time. He doesn't know what is going on.
What is he hiding?
So it's very, very important that you should be careful what you write on social media. What you write on social media can get you ahead of the interview curve just because of the positivity and the things you portray. So we have to be careful on that. Now, I think we don't have time. But you see, mindset is culture, right? Now, Peter Drucker says culture is strategy for breakfast. What it means is that it doesn't matter the strategy that you built. Culture is going to eat it up.
True.
So, Strength to Inspire Consultancy, we've worked with some companies in terms of transformation. And now we've got some companies we are going to work with in terms of transformation. You cannot do a successful transformation without investing or changing culture or the mindset of the people that you work with. Yeah, because of time, let me go and speak to this man. Yeah. So this man is a very good friend. He is a mentor, and he's called Perry Adamba. Yaw. Perry Adamba is an insurance broker. Now, what happened to him? Perry Adamba started as a messenger in one insurance company in Ghana here, and ended up as a managing director in another leading insurance company. The man started as a messenger, right? I'm just going to let people understand that mindset can move you to where you belong in life, not your skill set. Because the man was a messenger, but he ended up as a managing director in another insurance company.
I have another example. Professor Siming, University of Ghana.
Okay.
He came in as a messenger. Ended up as a professor.
All right. So, as a messenger in an insurance company, he had one philosophy, and that is, where there is determination, failure has no stand. He said that was his philosophy. He showed me a book in the 1970s where he has written things about his life, where he believes that if he follows this principle, he's going to win. And at the end of the day, he won. Now, once as a messenger, he had the mindset to become a managing director in an insurance company one day. So he asked himself two questions. Can you imagine the messenger at that time had the mindset that I'm going to be what? The managing director one day. Now, if you are listening to us, you might be a security guard, you might be doing some job that you don't really like. I want you to understand that if you have got the right mindset, you will move from where you sit now to where you belong. Now, the first question he asked was, do I have the qualification to become a managing director? And the answer was no. The second question he asked himself was, can I work towards the qualifications? And the answer was yes. So what did he do? He says at the time he had a middle school certificate. So he applied for his O-levels. He passed, and he did his A-levels and he passed. Once his A-levels was done, he was recruited. And those that he was making errands before he was recruited became his subordinates. That was the start of things changing. Now, he saw a loophole that states that if you have worked in an insurance company continuously for 10 years, you can start taking courses to become a chartered insurance broker. And he started and he achieved that. Now, as a retired person, he achieved all his goals from a messenger in one insurance company to a managing director in another leading insurance company. All that I'm saying here is that it's good to have skill set, but it's paramount to have the right mindset. The right mindset will break boundaries. The right mindset will conquer territories. The right mindset will go to the marketplace and win. The right mindset will drive skill set to perfection, so that in your industry you become as good as what you do. Yaw, anyone that is watching us, I want you to start investing in the things of the mind. Start it today. Instead of using your data to watch things that does not add value to you, go to YouTube and start investing in the things of the mind. Because the battle is not on the outside. The battle is on the inside. And once the battle on the inside is won, the one on the outside is potentially won. If you have lost the battle on the inside, potentially you've lost it on the outside. Invest in your mind. The way you eat 3 times a day, invest in your mind 3 times a day. Yeah, I've got a code that I always share. That eating is a temporary thing you do. But feeding your mind is for a lifetime.
Feeding your mind is for a lifetime.
Yes.
We can go on and on and on,
Yes.
but that's all time will allow.
But before I go, if any organization wants to,
indeed, put out your.
If any organization wants to contact us for a mindset transformation program, we are ready to do that. Okay. We've worked with some big companies here in Ghana, and we want to also come and cause a paradigm shift. If you want to contact us, call us on 0555 803 924. I mean 0555 803-924. Thanks, Joy FM, for having me. It's been an amazing 4 weeks.
Indeed. And it's been brilliant having you. And I just wanted to add something that, the book of Proverbs says in the book of Proverbs chapter 23, verse 7, that as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he.
Yeah.
If you change your mindset, your skill set can be maximized.
Yes.
We wish we'd have time to go on and on, but that's all that time will allow us. Oscar has been here on the show with us, sharing all these thoughts with us. Hopefully, we bring him back. But here is some very important announcement. We want to break for a very quick, important announcement before we round up the show. So please make listen. Her Ladyship, the Chief Justice, Gertrude Saki Tokono, shall today at 2:30 p.m. address the nation following her suspension and hearing of the petitions for her removal by the Justice Puamang Committee. The address shall be carried by Joy FM. I take it again. Her Ladyship, the Chief Justice, Gertrude Saki Tokono, shall today at 2:30 p.m. address the nation following her suspension and hearing of the petitions for her removal by the Justice Puamang Committee. The address shall be carried by Joy FM. That's an important announcement there, right? Coming through to us now. This has been Masterclass here on your Superstation. Thank you so much for joining us. God willing, we come your way with yet another exciting edition next week.